Hey there, I'm Heather Blaze with Boost You Fast Track to Money Mac Blueprint, and welcome. You may or may not know this, but I help business owners set up a strong foundation in their business so that they can scale it to have time and money freedom to do what they love to do. And if you're struggling in your business and need more clients, Renee Rodrigues is here to share some of the strategies she has used to get some amazing results. And we'll get into that in a little bit. What I teach is how to create programs about what you're passionate about, and then create systems and strategies around how to sell them for between $3,000 and $10,000. So welcome, Renee.
Hi, thanks. Thanks, Heather.
Yeah, my pleasure. So Renee is the founder of Best Foot Forward Custody Help. So you don't have to say the price of your program, but Renee has a high ticket program that has incredible value and gets results for her clients, amazing results for her clients. Did you already have a program when we first started with me, or did we create one together?
No, so we created this together. When I first started with you, Heather, I had been in business for almost a couple of years. I had been doing what I've been doing for even a little bit longer, but I started the business and I had a business model that just honestly wasn't working. Yeah, I had some one-on-one clients, but
Yeah.
I realized two things. One is I wasn't really making enough, and the other was that even if I were to get a whole bunch of one-on-one clients, it was going to suck up all my time and it still wasn't actually going to make me as much as I wanted to. And I knew I wanted a program.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's how you can leverage that time and money, because there's only so many hours in the day. So if you're doing
Yeah.
that one-on-one, there's a ceiling to it. And that's what I mean by build a strong foundation and then create something that you're able to scale from. So that's awesome. So why don't we start off with, some more details about what you do and who you work with?
Sure. So I am a custody coach. And what that means is I'm a little bit different from a divorce coach. So I don't work with divorce at all, but I do work with the child custody issues in family court. So I work with moms who are in a custody battle with narcissistic co-parents.
Mm,
So what that means is I'm working with women who have been emotionally abused, mentally abused, psychologically abused, possibly even physically abused.
mhm.
So by the time they come to me, they might be at the beginning or the middle or somewhere deep into their custody case. And I help them figure out how to build their case, partnering with their lawyer, unless they're going pro se or pro per, in order to get the custody arrangement that's best for their kids, for themselves, and really for the whole family, not just what they want.
Yeah, that's amazing. Amazing. And there's such a huge need for that. I'm noticing, and I'm noticing because I was in a relationship with a narcissist too,
I remember you
um,
saying, yeah. Mhm.
and survived all of that. Um,
Right.
yeah, so I totally get it, and it's just like I'm just in awe and amazed. I'm just grateful that you're out there helping people, and that's what I love to do too. Is I love to take on clients that are out there, help my clients help others. Like I just feel like it's so rewarding and fulfilling and satisfying, as opposed to just someone who's just in it for the money. Like you're
Right.
passionate about it, and it's
No, yeah, no, sorry. I was just going to say, my custody case
uh-huh.
completely changed thanks to me finding a custody coach. And I didn't even know there was such a thing as a custody coach. And there are not enough of us out there, because the need is great. But I would have had a completely different outcome had I not sought the help that I needed. And so, yeah, it is rewarding to be doing this, to be out there and helping others.
Amazing, amazing. And so, how long have you been doing this for?
With the coaching, I've been doing at this point for about 4 years.
Okay.
And I was a different kind of coach before for a couple of decades.
Yeah.
And that was actually going great. But I just knew that I needed to do this because this was something that was more impactful. What I'd been doing before was just helping people. I was helping actors, and that was impactful. Don't get me wrong for all of you actors out there, but it was more that once I went through my own custody case, I realized that I needed to use my skills as a strategist and as a coach to help others the way that I've been helped. So
Wow.
at this point, then my company, yeah, my company's been around for almost 3 years actually at this point,
Yeah.
but I've been doing it for about 4.
I love that. So yeah, so you were doing something completely different and then you used those skills, that gift that you have as a coach, but then took something that you learned through your experience, right? So
Yeah.
that makes you, that gives you this unique perspective that, you know, I just love that. That's amazing. And I feel like anybody could do that. You know, I see a lot of people going out there and they're getting like degree after degree after degree,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
it's just like, you don't need all that stuff. Like you as your unique self with your unique gifts and your unique experiences, we can take that, you know, that authentic you and monetize it, you know, by getting amazing results for other people,
Yeah.
you know, like creating that value so we can, and then charging a premium price for it and
Mhm.
getting amazing results. So I love that. So what would you say your situation was before we worked together, and like what kinds of things were you doing to get clients? Like how were you running your business before?
Well, I would, I tried a little bit of social media, and just couldn't quite figure out how to get people that way. And it also wasn't particularly pleasurable to me. I know some people really thrive and want to be on social media. And for me personally, I was like, I'm not even sure that I'm entirely enjoying this, although I like using it as a source for many things in my life. Then I was, trying to get my current clients to do, referrals and word of mouth. And I went through friends and family. Friends and family did get me a few clients. And there was a certain point when I kind of felt like, okay, I I'm just not getting enough people. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. And I also know I want to change my business model a little. So I was kind of floundering for a while, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. A lot of most people that call me, same thing. They're kind of spinning their wheels, they're floundering, like you say, like they're
Yeah.
getting referrals here and there. But they're not enjoying social media because they're posting just to post. They don't really have this clear idea of like, okay, I have to use these specific words with this specific formula. Excuse me, tickle in my throat. To get these specific results, right? Like there is a way to, you know, after we go through all the exercises and figure out what it is together, right, by the afterwards you've got all this clarity, right?
Yeah.
So would you say once you had that clarity on what to do after we worked together, how did that change things?
It completely changed things. When I first went in, I actually am a brand manager on a volunteer level for nonprofits, just on the side was something I was doing to help people and to help small businesses.
Yeah.
And it was a different model. They weren't coaches, they were doing different things. So I thought, well, I've got this understanding of brand, I've got this understanding of marketing.
Mhm.
So I could do it for myself too. Something wasn't really working. And when I started almost right off the bat, like as soon as I signed up for the program, and you sent sort of a packet of I think it was 2 or 3 different exercises that we did that really had to do with vision and that type of thing and value.
Mhm.
You read about these things and you know about these things in marketing, and you can go and you can listen to somebody on YouTube talk about it, and you can do this, that, and the other thing. But what you offered that really catapulted things for me was an actual sit down worksheet where it's not just me hearing, oh, here's what I should do, but
Mhm.
something that's kind of like, oh, here's what I want to do. Here's what I need to do. And
Yeah.
now I have an actual formula for defining that for myself. And that's not to say that you're not clear on what you want,
Yeah.
but are you clear on how to communicate what you do? And
Mhm.
the chasm between those two was really befuddling for me. And it was like, how do I not know this? I'm a brand manager for, this, that, and the other thing. But for the business model that I wanted, to have a program of my own and to do it the way that I wanted to, I didn't even know how to express how I was doing in a way that would draw people in. I was just calling myself a custody coach and saying, I can help you in your custody case. I didn't realize what I needed to say that was authentic and truthful that would pull them in. And
Yeah.
you're almost right off the bat, like before I started in the first module, the second module, I was like, I understand what I'm trying to do now. And it actually also increased my confidence, not just in being able to communicate that, but in being able to deliver on that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's key. Being able to communicate the value that you have to offer. And yeah, it's like you don't know what you don't know.
No,
So how are you going to find it,
that's
right?
right.
So that's
Yeah.
why having that, having me or some other type of mentor or coach to guide you through it with a proven system
Yeah.
is key, because you get that outside perspective, right? And so I can like pull that stuff out of you, and then it's like, aha, light bulb, and it just, after that, it's clear, it flows,
Yeah.
right? Awesome. I love it. So what kind of results did you see other than that? I'm going through my,
Well, at first I mean, again, I was like so confident. I was feeling so good.
yeah,
And
confidence comes with clarity.
confidence comes with clarity. And I had so much of it. And now I had this mission statement. And also another thing that was huge was I now had these monetary goals.
Mhm.
And I understood, like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I know that I can get there. So, once I figured out everything that you had given throughout the program, I then had to figure out what my next step really was,
Yeah.
because I saw that I had everything
Uh-huh.
and I needed to figure out the next thing. So what I ended up doing was going into Facebook ads. So I found somebody who was an expert on Facebook ads, and they were all kind of like, okay, you can do this, but do you have a foundation? I was all kind of like, I do have a foundation.
Yeah.
And so, because I was reading all these other Facebook ads, and I was all like, some of these grab me, but a lot of these just don't. I'm able to just scroll right by them.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they not grabbing me? Well, they
Mm-hmm.
weren't grabbing me because they didn't have the formula that you teach.
That's
And
right.
so, I took all of the knowledge I got from you, and then I was able to actually decide how I wanted to pull people in.
Yes.
Because for me personally, I realized, for social media, I want to pop in, I want to make an appearance, I want to help people here and there. But I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. And I don't want to. I also was in a situation where I was all like, I don't have 6 to 12 months to, organically grow, with COVID and everything. I'd lost my day job, which was a blessing because it, really forced me to say, I want to work with Heather and I want to do this. And so, and I don't mean to, I know a lot of people, it was horrible to lose their job.
Yeah.
I was just lucky that for me, the timing was right. And then I found you and the timing was right there. And then I got the confidence from working with you and the information from working with you and a clear plan to know that I was like, I do want to do the Facebook ads. And you had talked a little bit about that and it resonated with me. And I thought, I think I just want to bring them in and see if I can do this.
Yeah.
Pretty much within, I would say 3 weeks, I had my first 4 weeks, I had my first customer. And then I did something else that you had suggested that I sort of did, but I went all in on.
Yeah.
Was I had a few enrollment calls where they seemed to be going well. And then, I didn't make the sale. And I was just having this day. I was having one of these days where you're just all kind of like, whatever. And I was talking to someone and she asked me the price and I just threw out this price and she's all kind of like, sold. Here's my credit card. I was all like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Heather had said, just raise your prices. And so
Hey.
after that, it was all kind of, can I just keep doing that? Well, I kind of have to keep doing it because she's in the program and she's at some point, she's going to, befriend somebody and they're going to talk about what they're paying. So I've been making sales since then.
Yeah.
So I was all kind of like, it's one of those things where it's like your program still reverberates for me because there are things that are going to set in for me, they did for me
Yeah.
right away because this is where I'm at and this is what I need. And as I build, and then there are other things that as you continue to grow, it's kind of like, you know what? I remember now, Heather said to do this. I'm just going to give this a try. And it's like everything that you're saying works. And so, I was all kind of like, shoot, I got to go back and revisit it because it's been like a few months since, the program. And so I went back and revisited it. I was all like, I am checking all of these things off. And so, I'm in a group with a couple of other people who are also entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just amazed at how much I'm growing and scaling. And what I know that is huge for me is that if my son were in school full time, like after COVID, I'm all kind of like, man, this thing's gonna explode. And so
Yes.
what I'm doing right now
Yeah.
is getting ready for that, getting ready to figure out who I'm going to be hiring and how, I want that to look and, how I want the back end sales to look and how much more I want to put into ad spend. And I have all of this and I know all of this because of your program, because of what I went through and
Yeah.
because I applied myself to your program. I went through and it's like, I was like, every time I got your modules, I had time set aside because I was like, this is going to be my reality.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it happen. And I'm getting the information, but I'm the one who has to make it happen. And so I really dove into each thing and made sure I was really, the tools and the templates and resources.
Yeah.
I dove into all of that and made it, really put the work into it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you said a lot of great stuff there. Excuse me. The, having that strong, doing the work is key.
Yeah.
You don't get the results unless you do the work. I mean, I say that often, like I make it simple. I guide you by the hand through the process, through the recipe, right? But you got to do the work. Ultimately, it's your business. As long as you're willing to do the work and put the effort in, you get amazing results. And the more you put into it, the deeper you go, the better the results, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a lifetime thing. You're never going to forget this, and you can keep applying it. It's a lifetime blueprint that you can apply over and over again to whatever you want to create in the future, which is amazing too.
It is.
But,
Yeah.
the key, you said a bunch of key things there. So having the strong foundation before you go out and spend a bunch of money on Facebook ads, because you're just throwing away your money and wasting your time and hiring, these quote unquote experts to do it for you without knowing how to fish, right? So I ultimately teach you how to fish. I teach you how to communicate that value so you can use your money wisely. Make sure that your marketing is effective and efficient, so you don't waste time and money just throwing stuff at something that's not set up properly and that you don't know how to communicate the value of. Because no matter what it is, you're now in the marketing business. No matter what business you're in, you're now in the marketing business, right?
Yes, I'm now a marketer.
And I say that a lot throughout the program. But the key is being set up properly so that you do it so it's effective, efficient. You don't throw your money down the drain. And I see that a lot too. A lot of people calling me, saying, oh, I tried Facebook ads. I put this amount of money in. It just didn't work for me. And I'm like, it doesn't work.
I use your formula. I use your formula for marketing, and that's the difference between the ones I scroll past versus the ones that I stop and read.
Yeah, because they really resonate.
Yeah.
At the core, right?
Yeah.
So awesome. So what specifically, I think you did mention a bunch of stuff. I was going to say, what specifically did you get from my program to get those results? You said how many people are in your program right now?
So right now I have 8. And like I said, I've got 7 more enrollment calls just this weekend. And it's, I usually get about 3 to 5 enrollment calls a week, but you have to understand, again, right now, and this is kind of amazing to me. This is how I know I'm going to scale is right now. I only work an average of 2 days a week because my son's not in school.
Yeah,
so this is what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm a single mom. So there's nobody else watching my son. And so I'm the teacher, I'm the cook, I'm the chef. We all know this story because we're all going through it right now, but I'm the only one. And so, but when and so like many, families like this, then he's with his dad, maybe 1 or 2 days per week. Those are the days when I just hunker down. And what I think is really important and that sets your program apart is how much focus there is on mental fortitude and self-care. Because, as I was working my way up, this I definitely want to say is among the other things I took away, which is, I still listen to a couple of the books that you've recommended on tape as I'm walking around. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are days where it's like, today I'm going to need to listen to nature, and that's going to be what's going to lift me up. Today I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to get my blood pumping, and I want to hear the voice of some of this, like like Jen Sincero and other things you recommend. These things that I need to hear this in the morning because I've got these calls today and I'm kind of maybe not feeling it. And so I need to know that I can do this just by way of having that confidence and belief in myself. Because it is, as you say, maybe I don't have a million degrees. I don't have a legal degree and I'm not offering legal advice. But a lot of people feel like, well, you should be a lawyer to be helping people with their child custody case. The truth is, the degrees I have come together in a different way. I'm an instructional designer, I'm a strategist, and I've been a coach, a teacher. I have a teaching degree, right?
Yeah.
So, using your program, I figured out what my program would look like based off of what I already had, instead of running out and chasing a paralegal degree or a legal degree, you know. And the women I'm helping, Heather, they're succeeding in their custody cases.
Love it.
And that's the thing, you know what I'm saying? I haven't had anybody who's walked away saying I lost, you know. They're all kind of, you know, I've only been in your program for 3 weeks. I had a custody appearance. We walked out and we totally got what we wanted the judge to say, and they're already learning. And that's because I knew how to bring them into my fold. And I had the confidence to say, I don't need this legal degree in order for them to succeed at what I'm helping them succeed at.
Right. Yeah. And how fulfilling and satisfying is it to get paid to be you? You know,
It's incredible.
And to help people.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And but it is, and I can tell because, you know, this is what I'm doing at just 2 days a week. So I get to write my ticket. Do I want it to be 5 days a week when he goes back to school, or do I just want it to be 3 or 4? Right. And now I have the foundation to make that choice, because now I have the freedom to be making money, my own boss, on my own schedule. And now I can spend time with my kid, you know, and that's gold right there, you know.
And that was the key. That's the key of this whole program, is time and money freedom. Because I see a lot of people going out there, they've got their specialized craft or whatever, and they go and create a job for themselves, because that's what we're taught in our society, right? Nobody teaches you how to be a business owner. They teach you how to be a worker.
They do.
That's right. You have to shift out of that first and create a proper business so you can have that time and money freedom to do what you love to do, whether that's spending time with your kids, your family, more self-care, helping more people, going deeper with people, whatever it is, traveling, you know, whatever that looks like for you. So I love that.
Even a little bit, you know, you just made me realize, I think I would love to share this with your audience, because there's a little bit of a trickle down from this too, because by getting the comment, by now knowing how to be my own business person, I've even shifted the way I'm teaching my son, because you're absolutely right. If he wants to go be a worker, that's fine. But I am opening up his possibilities and his world, because my world was opened up. Because now I get it. Now I get that there are actually options. And I want him to have those options too, so that he doesn't get boxed into just that one choice. And I think that that's another thing that comes out of this kind of stuff, is that it's more life-changing than just I'm making money doing it the way I want to do. It really opens you up in so many other different ways, even with and for your family.
Absolutely. And even the fact that, like you said, you just moved, right? You had that freedom, you had that option.
That's right.
To move to a place to give you even more freedom.
Yeah, that was the first thing I did. Remember how you said, so there were 2 things I loved about your program. One was have that vision of what you want. And I was all like, I got to move. I got to get out of this 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah. And I was like, that's my big goal. And then so I achieved that. Like, I took the money I earned and I was all kind of like, here I go. And I went and moved. But the other thing was the day that I got to take the check that I wrote to myself for the amount, the day that I plucked it off of my mirror, because I was all like, I've done this, because it had been up there as I tried to figure things out. And so it had such a great energy, but it also held the energy of someday. And I pulled it off and I said, someday is here. And I was able to put that off to the side. It's not like I ripped it up or anything, but I put it off to the side, and it's there as a keepsake, because the someday came. So I was able to take that check that I stared at every morning and every night when I brushed my teeth. And it was literally, it was right there, and I had it. And that was really key. And I love that, you know, again, I love that you've got that mental piece as part of your program.
Yeah, we got the soul track, the strategy track. We got, I go at it at every angle. So did you have any fears before investing in my program?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I'm a single mom. I don't even ask me about child support, right? So it was a really big risk for me. But like I said, I've always been a believer that things fall into your path when they're supposed to, and you can either grab it and do what you're meant to do, or you can put it on hold and, let's be honest, probably never come back to it.
Yeah.
And just everything was aligning in the middle of such a horrible pandemic. But it was even just a few weeks before the pandemic hit, And it took about a month and a half before I got laid off after that. But it was even a few weeks before that that I was like, something's got to give and something's got to change.
Yeah.
And so maybe my hand was a little bit forced, but not really, because the truth is that I actually signed up for your program 2 weeks before I got laid off. And I had determined that I was actually going to um, balance it. And then I didn't have to because, but I knew that it was right.
Yeah.
And so I did it.
Yeah.
Mom, what did one eye say? Mom, what did one eye say to the other eye?
What did one eye say to the other eye?
Between you and me, something smells.
That's pretty good. I like that. I'm going to use that. Okay, I'm going to ask you to close the door and please don't interrupt because I'm going to chat with her. But that was great, bud.
I've done that. I've had that joke. I've done that.
That was
joke.
pretty good. That was pretty good.
That was good. So you knew.
So I knew. So
deep down in your gut, you knew.
I knew in my gut. And yeah, I knew that it was like, this is the timing. This is what I need to do. And I also knew that I wasn't going to let that money go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm not just going to put this out there and be one of those people who's all kind of like, it didn't work for me. I was all kind of like, it's going to work for me because I know it's going to work for me because I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So any tips for moving through that fear? If somebody's feeling like, is it going to work for me? Like, should I do this? I don't know. I don't really know, Heather. I don't, like if somebody's like really feeling stopped or stuck as to, or confused as to whether they should do it. I mean, it's typically fear, right? That limits us.
It is.
Any tips
Yeah, I think it's
how to move through that.
How to move through it. I think it's, you can sit. I used to be the type of person who sat and did a pros and cons and columns and that type of thing. And that did work well for me for a while, but I think the world has changed. And so I don't think everything's just quantified now.
Yeah.
So what I would say to you for this, Heather, is I would say, if something has come across your path and you've already known that you want to be on that path, it's the question you should be asking yourself is not, should I do this? It's, why wouldn't I do this?
Mm.
And if it's money, then if there's one thing that I was kind of cottoning on to and that I now am living proof of, it's that if you don't invest the money, you're not going to gain the money. And even now, don't get me wrong, every time I increase my ad spend, I'm all like, oh,
yeah.
Every time that I put the money out there, the abundance comes back. Yeah. And it's just, I just feel like I want to preach it to the world, except I'm so busy helping women in custody cases. But seriously, I think then what you need to do is you need to do that switch and you need to accept that you're worthy of abundance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's part of it for sure.
But you have to take that chance on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's so true. Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, not getting the results you want, right? So yeah, if you can just work through that fear, take that chance, do what it takes to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
You're going to succeed. Right.
Yeah. And I think you also have to find the bridge between the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And the other saying, which is keep at it and keep trying. There's a bridge there. And so you do have to keep trying, but by the same token, you can't try it the way you've been trying. So don't give up, but you got to find the way. Do you know what I'm saying? So
absolutely. So how much did you increase your program? Well, you didn't have a program. We created a program. And then you said that you increased your pricing. What percentage? Because that's something that we work on in the program too.
Yes.
Like how much should you be charging?
So, so when, the one-on-ones just take too much time as much as, you love working with people, right?
Yeah.
So I was already a little bit higher than my, not that I have a lot of competition, but others that I'd seen out there. I doubled it. And then my program, when I first came up with that amount, I still think it's a little, it's probably a little low compared to, I think a lot of people just go in at that 10K. And I'm definitely above 3K, but, you know, compared to the value, you know, but you have to decide what the cost is for you.
Yes.
But, you know, compared to what I was making monthly, I think I'm making 8 to 10 times more than I was making monthly.
So you're making 8 to 10 times more monthly after working with me than you were before working with me.
Yes. And the truth of the matter is that's at 2 days a week. So that's why I'm saying the sky's the limit. You know, I'm grabbing the bull by the horns, Heather.
It's amazing. Amazing. I love it. I love it. But you did. You put the work in, you went deep, you followed through on everything, you applied everything. You listened, you were coachable. You know, you were resourceful. So, and that's what it takes. That's really what
It
it
is,
takes.
yeah.
You
I
know?
had to have that accountability. And I tell the same thing to my people too, my clients, is you have to have the accountability. And I don't want to make it seem like it's a walk in the park.
Yeah, because
But it's not. But if you don't have the knowledge, you don't.
But it's simple. Like it's not an easy thing to do,
Right.
but
It is.
it's simple.
It's
right?
simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it is. It's absolutely simple. But I think it's also important so that you don't get discouraged to know that there are going to be days where it's like, I don't understand what I'm, you know, need to do next. I don't understand what I'm doing here. And just connecting back to the basics that you gave, connecting back to the basics from the Facebook ads and that type of thing that I do. But just to know that you're also building your own thing. And so what's great is that a lot of the challenges that I have now is no longer how do I do this so much as how do I want to do this next step, and how then can I succeed at that. Now that I've got this foundation, then the stuff that I'm trying is the stuff that, you know, gives me the willies here and there. And it's great because again, with that foundation, everything's really, one or two things happens. More of the time it's like, that really worked. Let's grow that. And then when it's not, it's kind of like, okay, but now I understand why I didn't, and I know. And so I'm going to let that be over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to get that foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So do you have any parting advice?
Gosh, I feel like I talk so much, Heather.
This is helping a lot of people, you know?
You know what? I do have parting advice, and I want to show this to you. Excuse me. I'm going to stand up real quick and hope that it's right here. Oh, it's not. It is. This is my parting advice because this is what, my dad gave me this card.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it, but it says, wheresoever you go, go with all your heart, Confucius. And that's actually, I would say, that's absolutely the root at, I think, what you teach. And it's at the root of what you need to do to be able to jump into this program, create the company that is you and that is going to help your people and succeed at that.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Great advice. Awesome. So yeah, thank you so much, Renee. You know, I really appreciate it. I know
My pleasure.
Help a lot of people, and I just love what you're up to. You know, if you have a specific niche like you do, even better. You know, if somebody doesn't have a specific niche, like we can hone in on that, we can figure that out. But I just love that. I love what you're up to. I think it's amazing. And like I said, I love to help people help people. So I think that's awesome. And I really appreciate you being here today and you know, sharing what you've gotten and you know, all your success, because if you can do it, anybody can do it. Really.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you put that work in, like we talked about, and you know, if you work through those fears for anything that's limiting, from finding the help to get you there, to go faster and make it easier instead of reinventing the wheel, because you know we do it every day all day. So why not just, you know, get that help and get that support, get that accountability to move you forward quicker, so that you can start making the money quicker, right? and
Yeah.
having that freedom, that time and money freedom to really do what you love to do so you can live your best life, because you can never get that time back, right?
No.
Money anywhere, especially now they're throwing money at us, but time is really ticking, and that's the one thing. Once that morning is gone, once that day is gone, once that month is gone, you're not getting it back. So let's live it to the fullest. So yeah, I appreciate that. If you're out there and you haven't watched the 5 steps to setting your business up properly, to getting clients, go ahead and watch that. I'm going to put the link below for that. And if you are really curious about how this can be applied to what you do in your business, then I'll put the link below for that to book a call. But if you haven't watched the free masterclass, I strongly advise doing that first. And then after watching that, take lots of notes. There's tons of value in there. And then you can book a call with me and we can see how we can apply it to your business. So wonderful. Congratulations. I'm really happy for you. I'm so happy that you've got your new place and you got a backyard and, you've reached that goal and all that stuff. I'm so happy to hear that it all worked, like I just love hearing how it's worked and, all the success of all my graduates. And I'm just really proud and happy. So thank you so much for sharing it.
No problem. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So we are going to wrap up and I will talk to you guys soon. So book a call or watch the masterclass and reach out. I'm here to help.